I am officially homeless. Earlier today we handed over the keys to the landlord and we just have a card to the hotel at the moment. Okay, making a little bit of noise here. Hong Kong is so loud. It is so loud. Alright, we're just heading over to meet up with Joey, who's gonna help us get rid of our bed. That's the only thing that the new tenants did not want to accept as a gift from us. No, we didn't even offer it. They took all the other furniture that we left over there. But yeah, we need to get rid of the bed, and Joey is going to help us toss it out. So we're about to meet up with him now in 20 minutes. Today has been a little bit crazy. It is currently 5:58 p.m. and I have no idea what I'm going to talk about in the vlog. I'm currently waiting for Joey. Once Joey has picked up the bed, I am free to start figuring out what I'm going to talk about today. See you in a bit. Done. Joey just picked up the bed and I'm going to head on back to the hotel. And some of you may have noticed that I'm wearing the same t-shirt now that I was wearing yesterday. Yes, today has been crazy. Yes, I'm a dirty bastard. I'm gonna take a shower and then I'm gonna recalibrate and figure out what today's vlog is gonna be about. Back in those days, in 2017, 2018, one of my main stable working lenses was an 85mm GM. I really loved that lens. So right around COVID, that fashion school that I had been doing all that work for, it went under. And you know, for them I had loads of outdoor shoots, you know, heaps of space. I would like, the 85mm was my staple at the time. After I lost that client, after I stopped doing that many outdoor shoots, you know, my needs changed. So a 50mm made more sense. I needed it more. So I sold the 85 and got the 50mm 1.2 GM. By the way, on my other channel, I have a review on that 50mm 1.2 where I compare it to the 55mm 1.8 Zeiss, which is also a brilliant lens. One of the first lenses in the system. I compared the two lenses and I really tried to provide like a balanced, honest review on it. Now, recently, I've missed the 85mm focal length, so I ended up getting this. Sigma 85mm 1.4 Art. In my opinion, I think this is the best 85mm for the E-mount system at the moment. In terms of how much it costs, how well it performs, it's a really good lens. It has a little bit of distortion, but like, you know, you have a lens correction profile to correct that. And you know, I think mainly with wide angle lenses, if you have a lot of distortion and it needs to be corrected, sometimes you have like, you know, weird artifacts. But for a long lens like this, the distortion, in my opinion, doesn't play that big of a part. But with that being said, I do believe Sony are just about to announce a predecessor to the 85mm 1.4 GM that I used to have, 85mm 1.42 GM. According to Rumours, Sony Alpha Rumours knows everything. They only post the truth. There are copies out there being tested. I had like a discussion in the comment section, really productive discussion. Not. My main point in the discussions in the comment section on Sony Alpha Rumours about that potential new Sony 85mm GM2 lens was, what does that lens have that I already don't have in this lens? Sony, we already know this beforehand. I have a Sony A1 and that camera can do 30 frames per second. So Sony imposes on a third-party lenses a kind of a bottleneck. You can only do 15 frames per second max on a third-party lens. So already we know that the future 85mm GM lens too it will be able to do 30 frames per second or even more. Like, you know, the A9 can do what, 120 frames per second? That's crazy. So this lens will only be able to do 15 frames per second. But at least for me, I don't use this lens in a sport context. I use this lens for portraits, for you know, all kinds of things that don't require that many frames per second or that much speed. The only thing that I can really think of that the 85mm, the future Sony 85mm GM2 lens could offer me would be a small form factor. But the Sigma is already really small. I mean, it's not a huge lens. It's relatively small for what it is, and so I'm not going to get that lens unless that lens provides me with something that I really don't have and I need. Back in 2017, 2018, 2019, when I was doing a lot more outdoor shooting, I really liked those longer lenses. The 85mm was amazing, and the 105mm, both the Nikon and the Sigma lenses that I had, they were also even more so. They were absolutely beautiful. So my thinking is that if Sony make a 105mm 1.4 lens, and if they do, that lens is probably going to be very small and very compact. That is a lens that I would really like. That focal length is just beautiful. Like the background just gets obliterated. It's such a beautiful lens to use for background separation. Not so much in, like, you know, half body shots or 3/4 shots, but like mainly in like full body shots, or like when I'm a little bit more pulled back, or when you have, like, you know, some details. That is a spectacular focal length to have. I really wish Sony would make a 105mm 1.4 GM. That would be a lens. That would be a lens I would order straight away on the announcement date. The 85mm GM2 1.4 potential future lens, not so much. I feel like I'm pretty covered here. This is a really sharp lens. Sure, it's not perfect. It has a little bit of distortion, but I have the correction profile and it's fine. Also, the autofocus in video in this lens is quite decent. It's not bad at all. If I only could have two lenses, nothing else, it would be a 35mm lens and an 85mm lens. So last week, I mentioned in one of the vlogs, I had just done my two last jobs in Hong Kong. It was a German kindergarten on Monday last week, and it was a theater show, reoccurring like theater show that they wanted new portraits for on Tuesday. And those were, I thought, my last commissions here in Hong Kong. I have two more shoots. I have one shoot on Friday. That's actually kind of a shoot for a friend. So Tracy is a good friend that has really helped me out in the past. I did like a product showcase with her about an air purifier from Lifa Air. And, you know, she is really into health, Tracy is. Like her profile, her character, who she is. She's really focused on her diet. She is like a very specific fitness routine. She's really into health. And she even I think she did her thesis on air quality in Hong Kong. And so for me, I really wanted, and I pushed when the client approached me, they kind of wanted me to do like just a specification based, like a product showcase video, just like a beautiful video of the product, showcasing every single one of the features. But I really pushed hard a story narrative. Like I really believe, like, you know, some people are into specs, and specs are important. It's really important to know the specs for the product and so on and so forth. I'm not hating on that, but I think it's really important also to contextualize a product for people. Find a person the product is a really good fit for, and showcase that product in an honest way, how that person uses the product and how that product fits into that person's life. So I really pushed hard for that to happen. And Audrey, who was working at Lifa Air at the time, she trusted me, and she she accepted my plea to put it in a storied context. And we did like, I think, a really, really beautiful and a really, really authentic, good story on the air purifier. I was able to kind of give Tracy just a little bit of a budget or a commission for appearing in the video, but I kind of felt like I wanted to give her more. I felt like she deserved more, but like, you know, provided that, you know, the budget wasn't that high, and I couldn't really push the client to give me more money because it was a fixed budget and they already wanted to do a different kind of video. So I told Tracy, like, hey, I'm really sorry, like this is the only thing that I could provide you with for budget. I would be more than happy to do a photo shoot for you, your boyfriend, for your dog, like anything. Like, you know, you just choose how you want to use it. I'd be more than happy to give you a photo shoot. So I told her recently that we're moving to Thailand, and so on Friday I'm doing that photo shoot that I promised Tracy. And on Saturday I'm doing another photo shoot for Tracy, but that's a different Tracy. That Tracy is a friend of a friend. She is an indie musician and about to upload her first track on Spotify. And I was privileged enough to be asked to do her artist portrait. And I am really, really excited about doing the artist portrait with her. For that shoot, I intend to use the 85mm, and I'm gonna have my Fuji X100VI on one shoulder to do 35mm shots. Her style is kind of folksy, personal, beautiful, delicate. It's, you know, I can't really play her music here, but I'll post it in the link after she has posted the music herself. I don't think it's officially released yet, but like, you know, the photo shoot is going to be shot in daylight and it's going to be like very organic and out in nature. So I think like an 85mm, like, you know, it's good to like showcase her and do like some portrait kind of stuff, but I also want to kind of show the environment a little bit, and just to speed things up and to have things a little bit more like free and open, so I can, you know, I don't have to stop the momentum and change the lens every now and again. I just want to keep the 85mm on the Sony A7 IV, and then I'm just gonna have the 35mm perspective on the Fuji on my shoulder ready. So those two cameras are what I'm gonna shoot all of that shoot on Saturday with Tracy with. I'm even thinking about like adding she's just hired me to do photos, but it's a nice aesthetic to have like a little bit of video underneath the artist music. So I'm gonna just offer her on the spot in the moment to just do a little bit of video as we're doing the photos. And I'm just gonna throw that in as an extra. I just really want her to do well. I think her music is beautiful. She's a friend of a friend, so I really wanna make an extra effort. And that, I believe, you really should do as a freelance photographer or filmmaker. You should do extra. You should go above and beyond. You should not under-deliver. If anything, you should over-deliver. But not if the client is super demanding and kind of just abusing that kindness. I do it when I choose to do it myself. And I'm definitely gonna choose to do it with Tracy on Saturday. I'm gonna also see if I can ask her if it's okay if I have the Insta360 GO, if I can do a little bit of a POV style shoot, and if I can make a little bit of content out of that, like include like, you know, a shoot in the Saturday vlog. But if she's uncomfortable with it, I'm definitely not gonna do it. I don't wanna, this is about her, this is not about me. So let's see how she feels about it. We are getting sidetracked again. I hope the audio is good in this room, because we're going to be staying here for a couple of days. What day is it today? Wednesday. So we're going to be staying here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We're going to be staying here 5 more days, so get ready for some more content from this room. How's this angle? Should I try more angles? That's neither here nor there. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate the view. I really appreciate the comments, and I really appreciate the support. This is a new channel. This is a new thing for me. I'm growing at this. I'm trying to get better. Thank you so much for the patience. If you have any pointers, if you have any thoughts,
please feel free to share them in the comments. See you tomorrow.